Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode. I am so happy for the far we are coming. This is amazing. And just like I shared, for those who follow me on my social media platforms, I shared a story. It has taken quite a while for me to get where I am today. And of course, maintaining consistency for anything is not a small feat. Thank you so much for the support. As long as you've been here with me, and of course, for always being here. Most importantly, I just want you to get knowledge. One thing that I have probably, let me just say, in terms of goals and really doing things this year has been action, because most of the time we really learn so much, we really acquire too much knowledge, but rarely do what is actually being acquainted with us. So if you're learning, the best thing I would love to hear from you is that your life is beginning to show significant change because of the movement you're making and the action you're taking. Otherwise, today I want us to discuss a few things that probably I have learned, especially those things that I have seen over time that really aren't things we shouldn't be sweating about, things we shouldn't be having blood pressure over, because some of these things are just pressure we just build up within ourselves, and they don't really make a lot of difference for us. Eventually, you realize you're carrying so many baggages that are not necessary for you. And I want to share these things, especially for my younglings and people who are learning about life. Of course, in your 20s and even in your early 30s, these are very important. Some people, uh, probably, let me just say this in good and I come in peace, have even grown into their middle age, maybe even up to their 40s, and haven't learned these things. And that is why I would really desire that we walk this journey together, because some of these things are not good when you're in your big age. Let me say it that way, because I don't expect some of these things to be within as somebody who has walked through life for quite some time. Of course, it doesn't come with wisdom, but it's much better if within certain ages you are able to overgrow certain things. Because I don't expect you to be in diapers in your 20s. Yes, so number one thing that you shouldn't be sweating about is losing friends and losing people in your life. One, I want to say friendships are very important. We are not meant to actually be dwelling alone on this earth. We're supposed to be actually in community, and how God has created us, He expects us to belong somewhere. And it's much better that way, because life becomes very easy. What I'm trying to say is this, that some friendships are seasonal. Don't always want it to just stretch to other seasons just because you feel they were very helpful at a particular point in time. And some friendships can't just be like others. Some you can talk on a daily basis, others don't need constant um talks, constant hangouts, constant everything, but they are still as helpful as they need to be. So learn the types of friendships you have. There are so many things you can learn about friendships, and probably one day we'll talk about this. But of course, there are three types of friends, or rather, there are many types of friendships. But you have to understand that there are acquaintances, there are casual friends, possibly those people you just meet because of circumstances. I meet you, you're my friend because you're churchmates, schoolmates, and all sorts of things. There is something that connects us together. So that is not somebody you can say is actually a buddy, a bosom buddy. Let me put it that way, because you can mistake the fact that we talk so much when we meet, we are actually friends. Friendship is a relationship, a type of relationship that serves its purpose. And we also have close friends. Close friends are probably closer than the casual friends who now you interact beyond those other premises, and they happen to share more values and more activities with you beyond just four walls or functional attributes. And the last one is confidence. Of course, this is one of the most beneficial types of friendship. And trust you me, you are not likely to have so many in this category. And if you have a number of them, you should thank God. In fact, if you have friendships that you have stayed with from primary to high school to now, you are blessed. It is so hard to maintain relationships for a long stretch of season. Sometimes it goes off, goes on. So please don't sweat so much over friendships. Please give value at the moment it serves you best. If a season comes and you feel like things are not aligning for you, then it's okay to grow into something else. So long as you learn from those mistakes you made, maybe there are some that had a fallout out of things you did personally or even the other person. At the end of the day, learn so that you can become a better friend. Even in the next relationships that come ahead of you, you are able to have more value. So don't sweat over losing people in your life. In fact, learn to be very choosy with the people who you allow in your circle, because you're very precious. And the more you carry so many burdens among within your shoulders, just because you have to have people around you, you're likely to not move so much, because you will be having too much to do and not quality. What I would say in friendships is basically it's not about quantity, it's quality. Have few people who you know they are people who can be there for you, rather than having quantity and you can't even give your best to them. And when you now need real help, you actually can't get it, because again you haven't been giving quality to them because you have spread your wings too far. So try your best to have quality friendships opposed to quantity. And then now, because of course we will always end up meeting new people, know what serves best, so that you stop expecting things from the wrong kind of people. Because sometimes we are busy getting hurt over expecting maybe a confident kind of energy in a casual relationship, or you are just mixing up the types of friendship. You have to be very awake and just understand that these people have different reason, or rather different purposes in your life, and it's just meant to be like that. Don't force things into places where they're not supposed to be. Number two, stop comparing yourself to others. I know as you young people, we are learning to, and even not as, just as young people, most people are actually comparing themselves a lot to other people out there. And especially in this age of social media, because we are all seeing people put up so much online. Maybe you see me post, you see me do this and that, and you're thinking, oh, this girl, this guy, this lady has everything together. But again, the truth of the matter remains, we don't put everything out there. And even for those who think there are people who share so much about themselves, including the downsides, trust you me, no one will ever share 100% of their lives. So please stop comparing yourself to someone. And even if it's not about social media, maybe you have a friend whose things are thriving, who maybe has gotten to places where you desire, but you haven't been able to. I mean, don't compare your journey to somebody else's. That is her or his season. Wait for yours and please enjoy life as it is. Whatever you have or don't have, make sure you just get contented as you work for the best season yet to come. So, what I'm just trying to tell you today is don't rob yourself of joy just because you want to compare yourself with somebody else's journey. The best thing you can do is compare yourself to the better version of who you are. And that is the only pressure you should be giving yourself at this particular moment. But as long as you're living, please breathe your air and make sure you are not comparing your journey to somebody else's. So even as you grow and even as you learn, even as you begin to maybe enter the corporate space, for young people, for those who are in campus and those who are even finishing high school, all those people who are trying to figure out life, please try your best to be content as you work for what you desire, but avoid the thief of joy, which is comparison. Number three, people pleasing. This is one of the things at a young age, I would say, I have noticed many people fall into this category, I included. And I'm telling you for sure, sometimes you don't even notice it's happening. Sometimes it's a default because you're growing and you're trying to find yourself, and you end up feeling like I need to please so and so that I can be able to fit in and find footing for life. You don't need to please anyone. The thing is this, yes, you can try and find favor with certain people, but there is no need for you to forfeit your happiness just because you want other people to be happy. That's what I'm calling people pleasing in this place. You cannot be forfeiting your own happiness for the sake of someone else. Just because you like them, just because probably they are a step ahead of you, and or just because you feel like this person is worth all my time and energy. No one deserves that. Please ensure at the end of the day that your energy is not drained just because you want somebody to get a certain kind of attention that you yourself know have not even given to yourself. Please live an authentic life. Live a life that you know behind the mirrors is the same you live, in front of people is the same you live. And do not try to live a life that is not who you are just because you want to achieve something from someone. Please avoid pleasing people because at the end of the day, it drains your energy. Oh God. You guys know that. When you go somewhere and you try to please someone and you go back and there is not no one even noticed your efforts. Please live your life on audience of one. And as you do that, know that at the end of the day, the fruit of a true and integral person, we will see it. So avoid a lot of people pleasing and please ensure that at the end of the day, you are in spaces where you're accepted. So whoever doesn't see who you are for the value you give, do not try to convince them. Let things flow. You do your best and be in spaces that you fit better. Number four, this is one thing I've learned over time as I'm growing. Oh Lord, stay connected to your inner child. Keep dreaming. You know that child you were sometime back and you had so many dreams, so many ambitions. Oh God, when I look at myself when I was a child, I looked at life so confidently. I knew I was going to have the best, be the best, do great things, surpass everything everyone has ever done, including all the great people we know. You know, we had so many dreams. And I've learned to keep in touch with that inner child that I am. And I'm still encouraging you to do the same. Continue having times, still waters run deep. The ocean is very chaotic on top, and you can even drown because if you don't take things, the waves sometimes they're even moving. They don't even have to have the surf waves, but the waves are always moving along the ocean. But go deeper, it's very still. Take time to go deeper within yourself, and that calm moment between you and your God and yourself, and just keep in touch with who you are. Keep in touch with what you wanted to be and continue reinventing and asking God to direct you as you go grow and as you get better, as you become that kind of person you desire to be, so that life can be fulfilling. Please keep in touch with your inner child because that is the person that brings life out of you. It's the person that makes you lively, makes you want to have fun, makes you want to explore. So please keep in touch with your inner child and don't stop dreaming. Keep dreaming. It's never the end. Even at this point, trust you me, wherever you feel like maybe you've done, the cycle of life is you will discover yourself, you will keep doing, you master yourself, come to the point of calmness, and again, you will want to still rediscover. So life is just like that. Keep dreaming, keep innovating, keep rediscovering, keep mastering. And please stay connected to your inner child. And yes, on top of staying connected to your inner child, because I've said your inner child, that person who is just carefree will definitely want to have fun. I am learning one thing. Please have fun. Life is not that serious. Yes, we gotta take life as serious as it is. We gotta do what we gotta do. But trust you me, in the process of doing what we have to do, have fun. Have fun wherever you are. Apart from even just creating those moments that are fun moments, who you spend time with, let it be worth it. In your workplaces, enjoy, try and find ways to enjoy what you're doing. Incorporate fun in your life. Incorporate fun with the relationships that you have. Incorporate fun even in apart from now the normal routine. Go, explore, travel, do as much as you can, especially for the young people who probably are not yet into the responsibility of life like marriage and children. I mean, please explore. Go places, do as much as you can. You will thank yourself for doing this. I mean, it's a season of life that God gives us to just be able to do these things. And at the end of the day, we begin to, the more you travel, the more you open your eyes, you see things, you see better, you see clearer. And it's important for you to just go beyond. I mean, some of us have not even ever gone beyond the counties we have basically lived in for the longest. So try your best and travel, try your best and explore, try your best and discover things, read books, get to learn what the world is about. So number 5, This is very important. Learn to cut off toxic people in your life. That is one thing that I can say I have learned so far. Um, you shouldn't, you should be very, or rather, you should actually be very protective of your space. Guys, mental health is real outside here, especially nowadays. And sometimes we don't realize we are draining the energy of ourselves, especially the people we have around us. So please, please, please be very protective of your space, of your personal space. Toxic people, please drop them off. Stop clinging, please. Stop clinging to that boyfriend or girlfriend who probably you think is your life. If somebody can't give you peace, if somebody is not even helping you become a better version of yourself, please move on. Stop clinging on friendships that are basically every time you hang out is a drain of energy, complaints, a lot of things from A to Z. Please know the values you have and now begin to align your values with the people you want to spend your time. Cut off toxic people, even toxic family members. Sometimes family members feel like they have the right to be in your life. Yes. But if they cannot give you what the kind of peace you need, find a way of operating within boundaries so that you're not able so that you're able to actually operate as a healthy human. So cut off people if you need to. Please cut off people if you need to. And even for people who are probably in relationships, if there is somebody who is in that relationship and they are not comfortable with certain people, cut them off. There is no need for you to risk what you're building just because of an outsider. So cut people off. Stop being afraid of seeing disrespect and making and room for that person just because you have to remain friends. Cut people off when you need to. I repeat, cut people off when you need to. Protect yourself, protect your mind, your space, your heart, and your life. At the end of the day, we still need to be functional humans. So whatever makes you very dysfunctional and very, very unstable, do away with it, please. We have it. Number 6. Hey, this one is a very common thing we know. Learning to cultivate self-love. But what is self-love? Self-love is basically able ask yourself what entails self. Mind, body, spirit. So how are you taking care of your mind? How are you taking care of your body? And how are you taking care of your spirit? Because most of us have really concentrated on the body area, whereby we think, let me just take care of my body. I should love myself. I should take myself out. I should buy myself clothes. I should yada yada, all those things. Very important. But for you to fully get in touch with yourself, get in touch with the fullness of loving who you are, you need to take care of your mind and your spirit. What are you doing to become creative? What are you doing to become better in terms of knowledge, learning? Because again, if you don't take care of your mind, how do you survive outside here with making decisions, making living comfortably and being able to just have a quality kind of life? Take care of your mind. I mean, don't just be a good looking person without a mind that can even function very well. You are much more attractive when you can be balanced in all areas. In fact, the more you can even speak wisdom, sometimes we begin seeing the beauty that you don't even have. But it happens. So what I'm trying to say is basically this: self-love is not just about all these things we talk about in terms of yeah, I'm going out, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to relax, I'm taking myself on a vacation. That's all about the body. Take care of your spirit, be in touch with your creator, be in touch with God. Be in touch with him, because at the end of the day, your body is only as good as your spirit. Don't neglect your spirit. Ensure at the end of the day, you start your day in spirit and end in spirit. And of course, continue walking your day in spirit, because everything for a person who believes in God should be directed by the spiritual aspect of your life. Every single thing, not just a few things, every single thing. God expects to be part of every area of your life. So cultivate self-love. In fact, I'd say it even deeper this way. Please learn to like yourself. Do you like yourself enough to tell yourself, for instance, Martha, you are beautiful. You are outstanding. You are great. Like yourself. You know the difference between liking and just loving yourself. Liking is basically having a fondness of who you are. Can you really say, I enjoy my own company? I enjoy and I really, really value the person that I am. So develop that. Develop emotions that actually make you feel good about yourself. Begin to just understand yourself in the whole spectrum of what contributes to you feeling loved and what doesn't. Love yourself, guys, because nothing else will be better than the match love you give to yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you'll accept any and everything that comes your way. If you love yourself, you will know the parameters to operate in, you will know your boundaries, and you will not allow anyone to just, mess up with you. So learn to love yourself. It's one thing I'm still, honestly, it's always a journey. As a person, like I used to love myself as a single person, and with time you realize there are still other areas you didn't quite accept about yourself. Maybe there's negative self-talk when it comes to something about yourself. Maybe you feel like you're not in your best weight, you feel like you don't look good. I mean, just love and accept yourself as you work towards who you want to be, but never ever talk down on yourself. Never ever do that. Please accept yourself and try your best to ensure that life is moving towards the direction you desire, and you're doing your best to just build yourself and to be the best version of yourself. And trust you me, the best love you can give yourself is to live in purpose. And you will realize that that is a different kind of thriving in life compared to every other thing. Because the fulfillment that comes with purposeful living, guys, you better start. So yeah, please cultivate self-love. I don't even know what number we are in right now, but this is the other thing that honestly I am learning, to really be able to understand that not every opinion of people really matters to me. Sometimes there are opinions that are worth listening to. Yeah, there are, but I'm still very skeptical about having to take in every other opinion that people have about me. So it's important to know that the best opinion about yourself is yours. Because at the end of the day, what you say about yourself is exactly what will come to pass. So please learn to save words, and don't take life and people's opinions too seriously that you can't even live. And even when somebody said something about you, probably they forgot. Let them not throw you down just because of the opinions they have themselves. Sometimes people just see you through their own flaws and through themselves. And most times we actually see life through us. So don't allow somebody probably who just said this is who they think you are make you feel like you have to sweat so much over that. Just learn to um, shake some of these things off and not dwell in them. Again, at the end of the day, people have very many reasons to say what they want to say. So if you spend your time really thinking about that, you are likely to be wasting your energy and just draining yourself. So people's opinion don't really matter most of the time. Try your best to understand that you cannot convince people to just see you for who you are. Please live your life for yourself and for God. Sometimes you will be really stressed when you realize, and especially I'm talking to people who are indeed growing, because these are things that disturb us so much. And you realize at the end of the day, even to them, it didn't matter so much. Don't stress so much over people's opinions. Some even talk aimlessly and they are not even giving a mind to it. And you will be busy there spending a whole year thinking and operating in that aspect. So try your best to just listen, and don't judge. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah, just learn to hear and just let it not quite get the depth of your thoughts. The other one, and probably almost the last one, go where you're loved, accepted, and cherished. Hey guys, please stop forcing yourself on people. Sometimes it's not because people hate you, or rather they have anything against you. It's just not flowing, and you're just maybe not the kind of person they want to be relating with. And maybe they don't even have anything against you. But please go where you're loved and cherished. And I'm saying this to young people because, again, hey, most times we even enter relationships and we really try to force things. Hey, oh God, I don't understand. When you actually come to this other side of life, you realize if you turn back time, you will set your bar high. Let me tell you the truth. And I'm telling you this as a single person because at the end of the day, you need to set and do not lower your standards. Do not, of course, I'm not saying you set very high standards that are not humanly possible. I'm just saying standards that are very, measurable, and they are achievable. So you can't just be expecting certain kind of things that are things you actually cultivate along the journey. There are standards you have as a person that you can't compromise on. People cannot be treating you like somebody else and you are okay compromising for that. You have to be valued. You have to be loved. You have to be respected. All these bare minimums cannot be negotiated because, hey, guys, you cannot be living a whole life condoning disrespect and tolerance. That's not the life you're supposed to be living. I will repeat. Please go where you're loved, cherished, and valued. Yes, not everyone will do that, but you need to be spending time with people who truly value you. Stop. If somebody can't be your friend, I mean, don't force it. You can relate at the level that it works best. If somebody hasn't realized this is who you are, and you probably know the value you bring on the table, don't force them. I repeat, don't force them. Okay, just be very, very comfortable with who you are, because you will still need these skills in the life ahead. Yeah, I'm passionate about this because I know that relationships can drain someone without even knowing, whether it's friendships, relatives, or even your own personal person. Hey, you need to not lower your standards for the bare minimums. Respect, love, boundaries, all those things, values, you can't compromise on them. You probably can compromise on, you wanted somebody who has a vehicle. You can actually get married to somebody who doesn't have a car. Those things will come. And sometimes you get married to a person who has a car. And if it goes, those are very temporary things. But you need to be very, very um, keen on the standards in terms of values. Do not lower your standards. Please, I beg of you guys, if I have to today, please do not lower your standards. Go for what you want. They are out there. Because there are people who will actually have the boundaries you want to have in life. And there are those who have flimsy ones just because that is who they are. So please be patient until you find the person who can respect who you are, who is able to communicate, because these things can drain you. So you guys, go where you're loved and cherished, whether it's in friendships, in whatever circles you belong in. Please learn to, you know, go to places where you're loved and cherished. You can be in every other space, but where you want to feel safe, make sure you're loved and cherished. And the last one, as I am growing and learning, I have realized that you will actually change. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself 5 years ago because I'm evolving into a better person intentionally. Something you have to do intentionally. You have to actually accept that you will change, you'll become a different person for the better most of the times if you're working towards that. So don't be shocked when you change. Don't be shocked when things begin to look unfamiliar to you just because you thought this is who you are. Please evolve to become a better person. Heal if you need to be to heal. Become a person who is full of love if you have not been one. Like, just grow into the best version of yourself. Otherwise, guys, I can say so much I have learned. This is just part of what I felt like I can share with you guys today. But my uttermost desire for you today is that you can just look back and ask yourself, have I been doing some of these things that are probably draining me? Am I a people pleaser? Am I too insecure with myself that all the time I just have to be in spaces that I can't fit in and I just want to be there? Please get in touch with yourself and understand yourself enough for you to be able to be in the right spaces that will help you thrive and become a better human being. Don't force yourself in spaces that are not necessary for you. Don't compare yourself. Don't force yourself into bad relationships, please. Guys, wacha tu nirudi kwa ile point ya mwisho. What I mean is this: love yourself. Love yourself. All these love languages you are expecting people to speak to you, hey, do that to yourself. For instance, I love words of affirmation, and I'm learning to give that to myself. Telling myself, Martha, you are doing well. You are amazing. Don't just wait for somebody to tell them to you. Of course, it feels good when somebody does that. But speak your love language. If you love gifts, gift yourself. Begin to show yourself how much you value who you are. Don't be doing so much for people out there and you cannot do it for yourself. So, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I am hoping that we can go and we can become better. Of course, we are almost winding down with season 1, slowly, and I am telling you, stay tuned. Season 2 is coming bigger and better. Promise you. Otherwise, please, whatever else you are learning as a person, on the comment section, we will be happily and gladly waiting to listen from you. And thank you for being with me today. Ciao!